I stood up to the narcissist. And here's what happened. After 18 years living with a narcissist, I decided no more. Enough is enough. I wasn't going to continue living the way I was living. I was like, this is not how I'd intended, planned my life to turn out. So I stood up. I was like, no more control, no more fear in my life. I am a grown woman. I am raising kids. What an example am I setting? What kind of an example am I setting for them? Especially for my daughter. That somebody can shout at you. That somebody can abandon you. That somebody can neglect you. Somebody can make you financially dependent on them. No. I refuse that. After 18 years though. Why 18 years? I didn't know. I'd never, up until 10 years before, which is like, maybe now in our 8th year. 8th year together. That's when I heard the word narcissist. But when I heard the word narcissist, it was in the context of a woman being a narcissist. So I thought, okay, maybe it affects them, not me. No, not us. How naive. And then the second time, this was probably maybe 5. No, let's have a look. So the first was the 8th. So probably in the 16th year. Oh no, not even the 16th year. And the 18th year. So like 10 years later, I was reading a book and then I came across narcissistic personality disorder. And I was like, I've heard that word before, but it was being it was a condition or a disorder to a female. And now this is a man talking about their own experience. I was like, oh my God, I need to find out what is it? What is that anyway? So after I stood up, because now I knew what narcissism was. So I was like, I finally had to stand up for myself. I finally had to refuse to be ruled by fear. Because I'd realized that fear had taken away a lot from my life, my freedom, my health. Because the narcissist lived in my head. Yeah, at that point they did. They lived in my head because I was always thinking about them. I was always wondering why they're saying the things they're saying. How am I going to defend myself? How am I going to... Because a narcissist will make your life miserable, literally miserable. And then you'll be thinking about, you are not like them. So you're trying to educate them. But they're not listening. They don't even care. Or maybe they don't have the capacity to process what you're saying because they are right, you are wrong. Remember Matilda's dad? Yeah. In the movie Matilda, by the way. So when I finally stood up to the narcissist, you want to know what they do, isn't it? Right. Based on my experience, I'll tell you what I did or what happened and the context in what I'll be talking about, okay? So the first one is gaslighting. Here's the thing, a narcissist thrives on disorder, on chaos, on making you confused. You don't know what is going on in your relationship. You don't have an answer to anything. If anything, if you try to challenge them, they just find a way of turning things around, and then you seem like you're the one to blame. So the gaslighting is a way of manipulating the situation, or way of manipulating you, making you doubt your memory, making you doubt your reality, what is real, what is even real, what happened, what did not happen, what did I say, what did you say? Do you see the drama? They thrive on drama. Now, if you don't know anything about gaslighting, you're gonna think that what they are saying is actually true, but they're just trying to keep you in that narcissistic fog where, when you're being abused by narcissists, you are so afraid to even tell people what is going on. You might just hint at the tiny bits of details, but not the full details, because what if they find out? You are so scared of their narcissistic rage because you don't want to witness that. You think they're gonna trash the house. You think they're gonna even damage property. You think they're gonna even hurt you or your children. So you sort of try to keep the peace, hoping maybe whatever you've said, they will digest it and they'll make amends. But not with the narcissist. They'll just do their own thing, right? Which is love bombing, devaluation, discard. They do it again, love bombing again, and then those are their main ways of operation, should I say. That's how they operate on their victims, right? So when I finally stood up, I was like I said earlier, I was like, oh, this cannot be the story of my life. If I was to die today, or when I'm taking my last breath, will I even have a chance to look back at my life and say, oh, I'm so happy to go wherever we're going. I've lived my life the way I wanted. I was like, no, I don't want this to be my story. And to think that my daughter, she was gonna think that, oh, that's how my mom lived. You know how mothers are like role models to young girls, to daughters. Of course, as a daughter, you sort of pick and choose, I'm gonna pick that from my mom. I'm not gonna, you know what I mean? You sort of have a choice on what to improve on if there's anything that you're not happy with. So I decided gaslighting, nah. So whenever they try to turn things around, say, you're the one who's not, who doesn't even appreciate me, I was like, in what way? You're the one who doesn't respect me. I was like, respect is earned. It's not demanded. That they were shocked, what? Because before, I just used to, cower in fear of what's gonna happen to me. And now I was like, respect is earned, not demanded. Happiness. Happiness is not bought from a shop. Happiness is from within. Because they were like, you are stressing me. This home is not so a happy home. Mothers, do you get what I mean? A narcissist thinks it's your job to make them happy. I mean, you have to. Do you even know how to make a person happy? Because whatever you say to them is not enough. Not enough. So, how are you going to make them happy? 1 minute you might think, oh, they're so happy. I mean, maybe. And then the next minute they're like, oh. And then you wonder, what have I done wrong now? I thought I was on the right path. Right. So that's the gaslighting. And then the other thing is, say when I decided to stand up for them, to stand up, for myself against them, I was like, no way. Say when they say something, or you are like, I thought you were supposed to be doing something like that requires money. That was the biggest trigger point. If he said anything about money, I mean, there will be world war. They won't like that. So now, I mean, they would just go into rage. They would just, I mean, you think you say something wrong. It just triggers them to a point where they would just lash out. And then I was like, what is it about me asking about money? I mean, I'm not even like, give me so much money. I'm just asking what, when, and now they'll start saying things like, I did this, what did you do? What? You are, and then if you sort of like want to speak or maybe correct them or inform them that is their duty, that is their role as a father, that is their role as a partner, that is their role in the family for them to do that. And we don't talk about what we've done, because as a mother, which I was, or which I'm still am, I cannot sit down and say, I did this, I did that, I did that. Isn't it obvious? That's my duty, that's my role. Why do I need to talk about it? Right. So when I reminded them that it's a duty, it's a role, they just started name calling. They will accuse you of this and that and that. I mean, I don't like using swear words, so I try to keep this channel clean. But there's no word that I wasn't called. You name it. I was like, is it? So now this is their form of gaslighting, because I'm thinking, I'm not that person you're talking about. I'm not that person you're calling that. So what is going on here? Anyways, like I said, when I decided to stand up for myself, I'd had enough of being blamed for everything that wasn't going on for their happiness. I was being blamed that I was causing them stress, and then I was like, So whatever they were doing to relieve that stress, they felt entitled to it because they could turn around and say, I was the source of their stress, so that's why they're doing it. And then I was like, I don't think so. When you started that habit, I wasn't there. So who was stressing you? Right. The other thing, like I said, when they go into a rage, when they just lash out from nowhere, they can just grab your phone and throw it against the wall, like in full force. You think you wonder, what's going into you? Where are you getting that strength from? Because moments ago you were like, oh, I'm so tired, I'm so tired. And then all of a sudden you mastered the strength that I'd never seen you have. Anyway, so you'll be afraid that they might hurt you. But as always, tread with caution. if something like that is happening, because you don't know how it's going to end when they just start all of a sudden pick things up and then throwing things against the wall, or they just banging doors, or turning tables upside down, or throwing things off the table onto the floor. And you're wondering, this is behavior is a toddler behavior. It's like a tantrum, isn't it? The only thing that they would not do as a grown-up is roll on the floor. But they can just... I remember one time when we had just got a new iron. Yeah, it was actually a gift. It was a new product, right, on the market. So they asked me if I wanted it, but then and then I'll give them my opinion on how I found the product, and then keep the product. So they didn't like that it came in my name. I didn't know that at the time. I was happy that as a family we've got a new gadget we're going to use to iron our clothes. You know, those steam generator irons. Philips, thank you, Philips. Yeah, it was like one of the first products they'd introduced, on the market. And you know what they did to it? They took the handle, the iron bit, because there's a tank in the iron bit. They threw it onto the floor together with the ironing board. I could not believe my eyes. I was like, what is going on? Who does that? Okay. So in that moment of anger, in that heat of the moment, you just damaged something that you're going to be using on a daily basis. And so what it means is you have to go to the shops and buy another product. And then if you continue doing that, then you'll just be working for one thing, to replace an iron. Right. So like I said, you feel like they're going to hurt you. Name calling. Blame you for everything. You think that, yeah. And then the other thing is, if you stand up against a narcissist, if you stand up for yourself, they are going to panic. Because how dare you threaten their source of supply? Narcissistic supply, their attention, your reaction to them. Because they thrive on seeing you sad based on what they've said or what they've done. Because they're always trying to press buttons on you for you to give them the narcissistic supply. So if you decide, I'm not going to bite into those tricks of yours, no. You're going to panic, because now they'll try to love bomb you. And then you'll be like, I've seen that before. The more you're like laughing at them, oh my God, that infuriates them. Because now they're like, oh, so you've seen behind the mask. Now you see who I am. Now all my tricks are no longer working. So it's like they think they're going to die, because you've been supplying them with narcissistic supply for so long that they never thought it could run out, or that you could work up and even have the boldness and the courage to stand up against them. Right. So what is the other point that I would... Yeah. A narcissist is so insecure. They are so... they act out. So they're not real. Whatever you think they are, they're not. They are real. They are real self. You never know. But here and there you might get glimpses. My glimpse of their real self was like a young child stuck in an adult body. I could not pinpoint at what age, but I felt like it was, a child doesn't have responsibilities. A child can lie all they want because they are still learning. They have to be taught that lying is not good. A child doesn't have responsibilities. All they know is to just ask for food. What's for food, mom? What are we doing tomorrow or whatever, right? They come across as that. They didn't have any responsibilities. You couldn't plan together. If you ask them, what are we doing? They get angry. And then you wonder, what does that mean? Or they just say, leave me alone. And then you wonder, what kind of language is that? Yeah, so these are some of the things that happened when I decided to stand up for myself, because honestly, living with a narcissist, they've come to kill, steal, and destroy your life, your health. I mean, anything pertaining to your life. That's what a narcissist is after. So honestly, until you decide to stand up to a narcissist, you just be living for them. And unless if that's what you want, but as far as I know, when your mental health is affected, when your physical health is affected, when your relationships are affected, when your finances are affected, what else have you got? What else? When you cannot even have a one-to-one talk with them as an adult, as your partner, who do you talk to? When their mission in life is to hurt you. When they... I remember one time I was like, do you get paid to make me sad? I was like, I'm sure if you were getting paid to do whatever you're doing, I'm sure you'll be rich. That's what I used to say. And another thing I said was, I mean, I had an inkling that whatever they were doing it on purpose. But at the same time, I didn't know how that was even possible, that a person could plan to harm somebody. Because whatever they did, it was all carefully planned. You could just see that, okay, they're going to see their friend irregardless of whether you are ill or you want to go to work, or the child is ill, or any other. Nothing could stop their plans. And then you wonder, but I have to consider my family first before I can do anything. Not with them. Not with them. They'll do whatever they want, whenever they want, with whomever they want, and you are not allowed to do the same. Right. So thank you for your time if you're still here, because I thought this was very important for you to know that it's possible to go through narcissistic abuse and come out the other end and start thriving. I'm only like I've just done 2 years, so I'm going into my 3rd year of being free from living with a narcissist. I am rebuilding my life. You can rebuild your life at any age. You can start all over again any day. If you decide to start your life again today, it's all up to you. Nobody can stop that. So I hope this video and my channel has inspired you to be bold, to be brave, to stand up for yourself. Because if you don't, nobody will. 18 years I invested, nobody stood up for me. I told people, I told everyone, family-wise, friends, you name it, professionals, but nobody could stand up for me. Like, nobody could say, do this. No, it's all up to you. It's all on to you. It's all on you. Yeah, so with that said, you take care. I love you. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. I really want to grow this channel and see how far it takes us. All right, bye.